How many of you have ever been in a position where you wanted to get some education, you wanted to get something to help you push through whatever challenge you may be having right now, and didn't have the funds to do it? I specifically recall a specific moment where I had just scraped enough money to go to a program, and while I was there, they kept offering all these awesome programs and things that would help, but I couldn't afford any of them. I actually even broke down and cried because I couldn't afford the $25 program that they had at the time. I had done everything I could just to get there. If you've never been in that situation, it's a tough spot. And there's a lot of people that are there right now. And over the greater part of a decade, I've made it a mission of mine essentially to reach out and help and grow and teach people the things that I've learned. Much of which revolve around changing people's perspective and getting them more focused on what they really want, creating more action in people's lives, creating a lot more consistency with growth and moving forward, and in the end, essentially growing. Because it's not about the stuff we want and what we don't want, it's about who we have to become. And that's kind of a general blanket statement, but I can tell you honestly that we have made a high impact on a lot of people's lives. Truthfully, we have done a lot. And it doesn't take me real long to do it, which is why this particular campaign is important. I believe that with the funds we raise from this, and it's an all or nothing thing, by the way. So if we don't raise the entire goal, you'll get your money back and nothing, no harm, no foul, nothing happens. We'll just have to come up with another way of doing it, but this would help us get a very strong launch. See, the bottom line is I believe that this radio show is a great way for us to get the message out, get it into the hands of more people. Doesn't cost a thing. You can get it online and listen to the instant podcasts. We're going to be able to give a lot of this stuff away essentially for free, and it's going to help a lot of people push through. I had a conversation with someone just the other day who was looking at working on multiple jobs, and I'm there. I've done the same thing. But working multiple jobs to figure out how to shore up some income challenges and things of that nature, and I could tell it in his voice. He was frustrated. He wasn't necessarily frustrated that he couldn't personally do it, because he can. He's got great skills where all this stuff's concerned with the particular business he's in. The challenge for him was that he's just tired. He's just tired. And I think that really sums up. And it hit me. I was thinking, wow, yeah, that's so true. And I've even written articles about how to create higher energy, and I do a lot of that stuff for myself. I know what to do for physical energy, spiritual energy, emotional energy, and even emotional. So I don't know if I hit all four of those, but the emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental energy, all four of those energies, there are things you can do to increase all of that. But that's the general sentiment right now. People are tired. So what I want to do on a weekly basis is give an hour of solid content, stuff that's going to help everyone that listens to the program, information that will help you get out of the rut, create a higher level of focus, create the actions necessary, and so on, the stuff that we've already talked about. I want to be able to do that for people on a consistent basis. So as you can see, we're looking to raise $10,000. So for that $10,000, that's going to put us on the air for 26 weeks, basically a 6-month contract with WIS Radio. And WIS Radio, by the way, is the second largest broadcaster and talk radio here in the Columbia Midlands area. So it's got a pretty good reach, and of course you know the demographics for it. But besides just being on that here in the Columbia, South Carolina area, of course, we'll be able to broadcast this through the web, so you'll be able to get it even if you're down in New Zealand. It doesn't matter to me, which, by the way, I've had people that I've worked with in New Zealand. We've had, we'll be able to stream this for worldwide use. So just because we're starting here in Columbia doesn't mean that it's going to be only for Columbia people. You could be listening to this and be in the middle of Kansas. It's okay. You'll get value out of this just as well, because we're also going to put this stuff on podcast forms for people to be able to listen to it in the future. I want to be able to help people. That's what I started this whole program with. I remember standing on a seawall at the Caloosahatchee River in Cape Coral, Florida, and I talk about that, by the way, in the book, the Get a Grip book that we've just gotten published. That's something we talk about, that whole story about that changing moment. And we're going to make a difference. We're going to make an impact. And this, I believe, with your help, we'll do that. It'll help us create the impact necessary. It'll give us the kickstart that we need, because that's really what this is. It's a kickstart. Because after the 6 months, if we don't create some revenue through the marketing efforts and so on, if we don't create the revenue, it's just going to die on the vine. But at least we'll have 6 months worth of value that would have been handed out. But it's up to us essentially to keep it going. I'm just looking for you guys to help me do that. So to do that, of course, we set up this little account, this campaign here on Indiegogo. It's really easy to do all the funding, if you will. With that, as you can see at the bottom of the page, there are some perks. Actually, I think it's on the side of this page. There are some perks at different levels of contribution. So we got everything from just shout outs on the air to all the way up to actually becoming a title sponsor, where you're going to be a part of the advertising and so on. There's another level that actually allows us to get you on the air and interview you if you have a specific service. But this stuff, I promise you, makes a difference. I've had people lose weight. I've had relationships get worked out through these programs and stuff that we talk about on a regular basis. This is a lifestyle radio show. This is a show that will create a huge level of empowerment, because that's what we've always done. Empowerment and enrichment. Give you a new reason, a purpose to get up and get going. And this stuff's going to be on Saturday mornings. So it's going to be, if maybe during the week you're a little tired and at the end of the week you want to get a recharge, it's there. But of course we'll have recordings so you can listen to it anytime you want. But anyway, I would love to have your help. I'm not going to keep babbling on. I put on the headset and did it all this way so you can see that I'm pretty good at flowing. And I've been on a lot of other people's radio shows and done some stuff that way. But we got some really, really cool stuff that we can offer for you. And I would just love to have your help. I think it's going to make a big difference for you and for so many people around you. Would love to have you. Thanks again for at least considering it.